Hey guys, Lou Mosca, American Management Services, and welcome to this week's edition of Straight Talk. And I wanted to chat with you about when is educating or training or mentoring your staff, when does it stop and you've just spent enough time and energy and it just needs to end? All right, and couple that with at what point do you decide to cut a team member? You know, at what point? So I think you could look at this in a couple of ways, right? So I think that training, mentoring, educating, whatever you want to call it, should be ongoing, should almost never end. It should be ongoing. And the only time you stop it is if you have an employee that you're going to part company with. So it should be ongoing. And in fact, if you want to keep an employee's loyalty, you should create an ongoing training program for that employee. You know, obviously it might not be for everybody, but for most key people, for the next 12 to 18 months, so they see that you're investing your time, your energy, and your money in that employee. When should it end? When you're ready to part company with that person, not before that. So when are you ready to part company with an employee? Well, I think it depends on a couple of things. Number one, did you give that employee a legitimate, detailed outline of a job description? Did you hold that employee accountable to that job description? Did you train that employee properly? And if you've done those three things and they're mentored and coached properly and they cannot execute to your timeline and your plan, well, one of two things is wrong, right? You either hired the wrong person or your timeline and your plan are flawed. Those are the only two things. So if you know your timeline and your plan are not flawed and you have an employee that cannot execute to what you need, then it's time to cut the cord. And I would suggest to you, I do not like letting people go. It is painful to know you hurt a family member or a family, but if you need to cut the cord, cut it quicker. Cut it quicker. Do not delay. Cut it quicker. Okay, so I hope that helps. It's always fun talking to you. If you want to chat with me, hit me up on LinkedIn or anything else, and 800-743-0410. And like, share, and subscribe, and have a great weekend, everybody.